Moving forward, we are almost at the end of the class. We will quickly go through 5 actions from this class. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives sins done out of ignorance. And human beings are weak and they make mistakes. As soon as they make a mistake out of ignorance, we have to go back and ask for forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have to try our best not to repeat that sin. And there cannot be anything like a planned sin. Let me watch this, let me do this, and then I will go back and I will ask for forgiveness. No, this is not what it is mentioned here. Only the sins that are done out of ignorance. We have to try our best to avoid them. And then we also saw a detailed example of we have to start avoiding the sins now, because death can come unexpectedly. There are people who are clearly mentioned who continue to sin until death arrives, and in the face of death, when they see it, they are afraid and they ask for forgiveness, and then it is too late. And some of them die as disbelievers in a state. We saw a couple of examples. What if a plane crashed while you're watching a bad movie? What if you're in a car listening to loud music, something fahash, and then you have an accident? You don't even get time to recite kalma. So you're not in a state of believing when you die in that state. So we have to make sure that we stop all sins now, so that when death comes to us unexpectedly, we are not in disbelieving state. And then there's an action related to a husband-wife relationship, related to family relationship. So if they have decided to separate, and a husband and wife, they're getting divorced or they're getting separated, then the husband has no right to take any gifts or things that they have given them, because they had such a nice, powerful, strong relationship. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you cannot take those things that you have given to your wife as a gift, because it is like committing a slander and sin upon yourself. So it's like a big open sin that you're committing if you're asking for those things back from your wife. And finally, number 4 and number 5, it is better to be patient and stop yourselves from sins. Stay away from anything that may lead to sins. We also discussed it recently right now. Finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes for us to be guided. We should not get distracted from people who follow their passions and who are not on the right path. And we discuss multiple examples. It can be your friends, it can be your cousins, it can be anyone around you, it can be any influence on social media, on TV, wherever. And those people, you will feel like, oh my God, they're enjoying life. Look at them, they're having all the fun. However, those are the ones who are not guided. And we have to stay away from all of those things, so that we can be successful, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment rewards us for staying away from all the sins and from all the people who are not a good influence. Are there any questions before we close the class? I see a couple of hands raised. Shayan, you have a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask that you said that don't get distracted from people who follow their passions without guidance. How do you differ if they are already guided or they're actually distracted?
It's very clear. Those who are guided are following the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we are going through all of these guidances. We know what is right, what is wrong. So for example, if somebody is openly sharing picture with non-mahram females and they're having fun and all of that, they are misguided clearly. So all of these things that we continue to learn in the Quran, now this is separating. Quran is Al-Furqan. It separates right from wrong. So we know what is right things to do. We know what are the wrong things to do. Whosoever is doing any wrong thing that is taking you to that side or to that path that is not correct, you already know that they are misguided. This is the reason of understanding and reading Quran, to understand what is right, what is wrong. We got clear guidance of somewhere who are the mahram females whom you cannot marry and who are the non-mahram whom we can marry. So if somebody is performing that practice, if I were to take this example alone, if somebody is doing a wrong act, for example, if somebody is separating from his wife and he's asking, and he's your friend and he's asking her to give her gifts, the gifts that he gave back or whatever, then obviously we know that this person is not guided, and our first responsibility is to also guide them and to tell them, no, this is the wrong thing that you're doing, so that they can also correct themselves. In terms of celebrities, we know all the movie actors, the divas, so-called, the music icons. A lot of, so and we had this similar discussion in the previous lesson or lesson prior to that, where we talked about entertainment, which is useless, worthless, that wastes time for us. There is no point of even following them, because this is not the purpose of our being. So we have to realize these things, people who are clearly on the right path and people who are not, and then try to follow those who are on the right path. I hope I've answered your question, Sharon.
Yeah.
Is there any other question from anyone else?